Well, hi everybody. Oh, gee, what a doozy of a week. This has been my busiest week since I don't know when. And I've been doing a lot of massages. That's why I haven't got any videos out. I was really glad to get to do them because I love to do them. And I'm going to Portland on Thursday for 10 days to see my new granddaughter. Well, she's already 5 months old. I can't believe she's that old and I haven't seen her yet. Great granddaughter, not granddaughter, but she's my fifth one. I have five great grandchildren, but anyway, I can't wait to see her. She's so adorable. I guess it's not going to go away. I keep thinking the gravel's going to go out of my voice. I'm not used to having a gravelly voice, but I guess it's not. It might clear up once I start talking. What a shit show. It's like trying to watch a monkey trying to frap a football. I was nice. I said frap. Wow. Uh, I know everybody feels that way. Well, one good thing came out of this week. It looks like maybe Mitt Romney's been taking his testosterone. You know what I'm saying? Testosterone. We got it. Honest, I haven't been drinking. So Mitt Romney must have had a dose of something there because it looks like he's trying to grow a pair. Looks like he's actually going to be the one to come through and maybe show that he could be a leader. I've never thought he was a leader, although I do know that they love him in his home state and they literally hate Trump there, so there's no place Trump can hurt him there. And he's got more money than Trump probably has dreams at night of having one 0.5% of the money that Romney has, so that was really his money and not just being filtered through the Russians. So he can't hurt him there. So let's all. Never been a big Romney fan, but I'll tell you what, at least he's coming through. He's coming through. And it's so hard to find anything to read on, but I came up with some stuff. And I want to do one on Alan Weisselberg. Why haven't they subpoenaed him in? I mean, I know he made some kind of deal. Was it with Mueller? Or was it with the state of New York? Or something for his testimony, but that doesn't mean that the House can't call him in and question him. I don't see why it would mean that. And then I want to do one on Pence and see if he might be an interim president. I think personally, for me, I think the only way he could be an interim president is if he's been wearing a wire. If he started working with the people that are investigating all this stuff months ago and he's been wearing a wire. Otherwise, because we all know he's right in the middle of this. And you don't just automatically get out of this stuff. But if he really has been helping the feds or whoever's investigating this, the FBI, I guess that would be the feds. If he's really been helping them by wearing a wire, trying to talk to everybody, if he's been a spy in there, he might end up getting out of this and end up being our interim president. And I know a lot of people, especially my daughter, every time I mention that, she just about, but if he was, he would have no power. He'd be like just in there for a smidgen, and he'd be being watched like a hawk, so I doubt if he could put too much of anything through or change any rules that hadn't already, most of them has already been, whatever, let's not even go there. We're all sad about that. But anyway, the only way he could end up in there, and not because we know he's in the middle of it, but he could end up in there if he's been wearing a wire and cooperating already. If he's already been cooperating and trying to figure out what's behind this whole charade going on there, then maybe he might get out of it. So I want to do a real quick reading to see if Pence has been wearing a wire, or to see what's going on with him, to see if he's a spy, to see if the spy card comes up or anything like that. And you know what? I haven't used this deck for a while. I'm going to use this deck. So this is for little Mikey Pence. God. I know what you're all thinking. God, we don't even want to hear this. But nobody at this time could be worse than what Trump's doing. If we could just slow this down, and it would be all right if it would be Nancy Pelosi, but then it's just going to be a bunch of yelling, hollering, and screaming because a different party would be in there, which is legal. That's the way it's set up. But you know, most people don't know how our government works anyway. And when I started talking about this a couple of years ago, everybody said that couldn't happen because she's a Democrat. Nancy could never be an interim president or anybody from the Democratic Party. And I said, well, yeah, they could if the Democrats take over the House. And I was trying to talk to this about some other people way before the last election. I said, if they take over the House, I said, whoever's the Speaker of the House can end up being president. And so anyway, it would cause less turmoil if it ended up being Mike Pence. And let's just hope it's somebody. And before I even get started on this, I want to mention one more thing. I finally saw today on the Joy Reid show, I think AM Joy's what it's called, AM Joy. Finally, one of the pundits, they were talking about that Doral business and him coming in and throwing more shit up against the wall about that. That's the only reason he sent that guy out there. He didn't send him out there to confess. He sent him out there to bring up that Doral shit to try to change the news. So we're going to do Mike Pence. See if there's any spy cards in there. See what's been going on with him. See if he might end up being our next president. So we'll see what happens there. Oh, that's what I was going to say. He sent that little squirrel out there to give that press interview, so he could put that Doral stuff out there and get everybody talking about something else. But he didn't know that little effer was going to go out there and confess the treason and damn near treason is what it sounds like to me. I don't know. I guess we're not at war with them literally, so it wouldn't be treason. But to confess to everything he's being accused of, I really don't think that. I think that, I mean, didn't sound like it was scripted. And I know he went out there to throw that Doral stuff out there to change the news cycle. But I don't think that they sent him out there to confess that Donald Trump has been breaking the law even more, although Donald Trump does enough of that by himself. God, I'll tell you what, that was about a wasted sperm. Probably the only time he was ever a winner in his whole life. That's probably the only race, the only legal race he ever won in his life was the race to his mama's womb. God. Anyway. Some people shouldn't co-create. I should be nice, but it's hard to be nice when people are getting babies killed and babies napalmed. And anyway, let's all say a prayer for those poor people in Syria again. Anytime you think of them, just send them angels of protection and peace. Anyway, so let's do this. This is for Mike Pence, and let's see what's going on with him. Let's see how if little fade into the woodwork sneaky snake's been up to no good, or what would be no good or what, but it might save his ass if he's been actually wearing a wire and working behind the scenes to try to figure out what's really going on with this huge conspiracy thing. Not into conspiracies, but Trump's definitely taken his orders from Putin. That's obvious to anybody. And I think I started saying that, didn't I, almost on my first video? Of course, I was hoping I was mistaken, but Still had that feeling. Well, I think no telling which ways these are turned. Okay. Well, the first card out for Pence is the Tower. So, that's not saying whether he's... I feel like this is saying he's definitely right in the middle of this shit. But, or whatever. In the middle of this stuff. Up to his little eyebrows. And, but that doesn't say if he might get out of it if he's been working behind the scenes. But he's definitely in it. It tells us that much. And maybe he has been working behind the scenes, because this is the next card. It's a yes. It's the Nine of Cups. It's a yes. It's also the Mother card. It's like, if he is working behind the scenes, he's probably got his wife to thank for it, because she probably, from what I understand, she hates Trump. She hated him from the get-go. So maybe she just put her foot down and said, this is what's got to be done. You've got to do this. So maybe that'll end up saving his ass and keeping him out of jail. It might even end up putting him in the presidency for a few months before this is all over. The foundation of this is the Nine of Coins. And it's upside down. So even if he goes into the presidency, they might offer him total immunity if he does this and does turn in stuff. If he's been wearing a wire or something. Because this card is upside down, and there's going to be a big loss of money for him and his family. And I don't know, unless he's been in such a deep cahoots that he's been getting a lot of that Russian money, then all of a sudden he has to quit taking it. But I don't know how that could figure in with this. If it's that far gone, I don't know how they could offer him immunity. But anyway, there's something going on. There's a big loss of a whole lot of money is the foundation of his situation. And maybe that's his thinking about what would happen if he has to go hire a bunch of lawyers. But I really think that his wife might have him working behind the scenes. And he's definitely changing houses. He's going from literally where he lives, he's moving. And that's the Tower card, so that's not necessarily because everything's great. But there is a move. There's a move coming up. And his heart is really broken. I mean, I don't know what he expected. If you jump in a crook's pocket, it's going to rub off on you. But his family and his family's not real. Nobody, of course, how could they be? Even if he gets out of this and whatever. Either way, his family is very upset and bereaved over this whole situation, because they know that they're in the wrong, and they know that this crap's been going on. So they're really, really upset about it. And in the present now, whatever's going to be uncovered, I don't know if it's the taxes. This goes back to Trump and we're doing Pence. But there's something coming out, or maybe it's the information he's been gathering. It has to do with huge amount of monies. Because up in the sky, the present, this is a huge amount of money. And in the bottom card is money going out. Great amounts of money being lost is the foundation of the reading. And in the sky over the reading is a whole bunch of big money. So, well, we know this is, Trump's whole presidency's just been around money because he's so greedy. So we know that, but that's like, God, what are they going to uncover? It's gonna be headlines all over the world. It can't be any bigger in the world, but it's going to be total headlines for a long time. well, maybe he's going to resign. We got the Five of Swords here, which is somebody walking away from a battle. So maybe this is, I would say that his wife did get him to start working with the feds from these cards. Broke everybody's heart, but that's what's going on. They're definitely moving. They're going to another residence, so that could be the White House. Has to do with a whole bunch of money they find somewhere. Money, hordes and hordes of money coming in, and money siphoning out the wrong way. And he's walking away. He's could be him, Donald Trump, just giving up and walking away because of the evidence he has on it. From these cards so far, it looks like he has been maybe doing his spy work. Let's see if a spy card comes up. So himself and what's going on around him. This is overseas. Could be reading these all wrong. He could just be totally tied up with all this Russian money so deep that he can't get out of it, and that's why his house is burning down. But I don't think so. Maybe he's going to come through with the information on what's going on overseas. But we got the Three of Wands here, so because it's a Three of Wands and whatever instead of the two or whatever, that's the one where they're usually looking out. It's like he's looking towards some gold. No, gold. It's like he's looking towards some gold that he's had in mind for a long time, which could definitely be the president, and he can see how he could get there. He could definitely see how he could get there, and this is what's going on in his head. So even if if his family's heartbroken with him and all the corruptness, and his wife's been getting him to wear the wire, and it's about all kinds of money coming in and it going to the wrong places, Trump walking away, and him with his eye on the presidency, he's still, on some level, really jazzed about the fact that he could be president. Something going on there. And the crossing card over this, which is the 8th, the environment, people and the stuff close by, is some people kind of, he thinks people are going to see him kind of like a hero as he goes in there and switches roles here. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he doesn't end up in there. I was thinking this was a little far-fetched when somebody, I think it was one of the other readers said something about him. I think it was that Whimsy, she's so sweet, said something about him wearing a wire. And I thought, well, let's do a reading on that and see. It doesn't sound very plausible to me. And his hopes and fears are his finances being scrutinized. Like I said, he's into this a long ways. Maybe that's why there's so many money cards thrown in here. Maybe if he gets stopped, it'll be because of money he's been taken. But his hopes and fears is the 9 of Coins. You know what? And a lot of times this is a spy card. But everybody's going to know he's been spying. If he gets out of this, that's the only, even if they offer him a deal and it's kept quiet, there's no way he's in this so deep in so many angles that he would stay there unless they are giving him some kind of immunity. I wonder if that happened, if we would hear about it. But anyway, this is the spy card. Forgot what deck I was using. And this is a job he's been training for all of his life. He's been the apprentice for it. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But it looks to me like Whimsy could be right, that maybe he's been wearing a wire and working with the feds and trying to get this stuff to come together to get this monster out of the presidency. So don't be, I think I'm talking to myself, don't be shocked if Mike Pence ends up being a president before in the next, within the next 6 months. Six or 7 months. Okay. Anyway, I want to do some more readings. I didn't want to run them all together. So if I don't get back right away, I want to thank everybody and tell them that they'd like a personal reading. It's lynntarotreadings@gmail.com. lynntarotreadings@gmail.com. I'm going to be in Oregon for about 10 days, but hopefully my daughter won't have, she's going to be at work, and hopefully she won't have 1,000 things planned for me like she usually does. I told her not to, so I should be able to do some readings from up there. I know I can do phone readings, and I know I'm going to put out some, maybe even more than I'm getting out here, because here I always end up doing massages. So anyway, thank everybody, and have a nice day and nice weekend. I got to go to the airport and pick up my other daughter tonight. So anyway, bye.